and welcome to Ask Autoblog. I'm Chris Shunt, one of the bloggers on Autoblog. Today we're going to do something kind of cool. It's called Cooking with Your Engine. Today we're going to make potatoes and ham and kind of a holiday theme there with the ham. But the reason we're going to do this is we've been inspired by a couple different things. First of all, the internet. Every once in a while you get a nice piece on how to cook a hot dog or how to cook shrimp or how to cook chicken. Also, a book that everybody knows about called Manifold Destiny. Basically, a couple guys went around the country cooking food with their engine. It's a little tougher nowadays now that we've got plastic engine covers on all the newer cars, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Let's start with the cooking. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the ingredients we brought with us to the table here. First off, we have heavy-duty aluminum foil. Very important that it's heavy-duty. You don't want any juice getting into your engine. You don't want anything else getting into your food. So we're going to start with the heavy-duty. We've got some potatoes. I got red potatoes that I'm going to make with butter and parsley and black pepper. Of course, it's not a cooking show, so it's not important what it tastes like. It's just that it gets cooked. Also, we're going to do ham. The ham is going to have pineapples on it. I love pineapples and I love ham. And basically the way it works when you're cooking in your engine, you're basically braising the food or kind of like steaming it, right? If you want your food to be browned, if you want it to be nice and crispy, you got to do something else. The engine's not going to do that. It's indirect heat and it's going to basically get all that moisture inside the tin foil. It's going to get it moving around and it's going to cook the food. It's pretty important to remember that the thinner you keep things, the faster they're going to cook. Your engine bay is not going to get as hot as an oven. You're not going to get it up to 450 degrees unless it's broken. So you want to get it nice and cut up, nice and small. If you're going to cook chicken or shrimp, make sure you use small pieces or you're going to be on a long trip. And if you see any smoke coming out of your engine bay, you know you've got a problem. So probably a leak in the tin foil. I'm going to put lots of butter on there, but not too much because I don't want to get anything leaking out of this tin foil. Don't want to ruin the experiment. There we go. And like I said, you're going to get plenty of liquid inside the packing just from the potatoes. So you don't need a ton of butter and you don't need a ton of seasoning because you're really locking in a lot of flavor with this tin foil, and you don't want to overdo things. Okay, it's important that you get a nice tight seal on your packaging. If you do not, you can get the leakage out into your engine, and more importantly, you're probably not going to have to worry much about exhaust fumes getting into your food because more than likely you don't have any leaks in your engine and all the exhaust comes out through the exhaust system. So that's not a real issue unless you've got a leak of some kind. So don't worry about that. But if you do taste exhaust, don't eat it. And then I'm going to wrap this up one more time just to make sure it's nice and tight. I do not want smoke coming out of my engine because I have butter leaking. Okay, now we're going to do the ham. The ham is going to be a lot easier than the potatoes because I purchased some ham steaks and pineapples. And that's basically all I need to do. Now don't forget, like I said, it's going to braise the food or steam it. So basically it's going to come out tasting a lot like pineapples. If you don't like pineapple, obviously don't use them. I happen to love pineapple. So I'm going to wrap this up one more time. Leave a little bit of extra tin foil so I can put it on the car and hold it in there. Now we're standing in front of the 2008 Saab 9.3 2.0 turbo, 210 horsepower and $32,000 of a grill. Basically, if you thought a Weber was expensive, this is going to cost a little bit more. But if you think about it, this is a more efficient way to cook your food if you're going on a long trip. So we're kind of saving money here in the long run. All right, I found the one spot basically that's exposed enough that I can get some heat on. I'm going to put my tin foil on there now. And as you can tell, there is quite a bit of plastic on here. There's not a whole lot of area that I can use. And I've got a little hand with a circle around it and a line through it saying, do not put your hand there. So that's the spot I'm going to use, assuming it's hot. I did test it to make sure it was hot. First, I kind of got some water on my finger and then I touched it just to make sure that it was hot. Don't forget to do the water thing because if you touch it with your dry finger, you're going to burn it. The best spot actually to do this is on the exhaust manifold, but this is completely covered under here, so I had to go to the next best thing. All right, got everything secured inside the engine bay. Just shut the lid, take it for a spin and see how it works. All right, the trick now is to drive about 30 miles to get the potatoes cooked good enough that you can eat them. So I'm going to take a little spin here, go for a little ride, hit the park, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, we've got our food all finished up in here. You could actually smell the ham. It smells terrific. I've got gloves on now because I don't want to burn my hands on the tin foil. So I'm going to take it off now. Big surprise, it's still really hot even with gloves. All right, we've got the finished product here. Now let's see how it turned out. We're going to start with the ham. See a little bit of water leak through there. Not too much though. Voila! Some good looking ham there, folks. Now let's take a look at our potatoes. Potatoes didn't get quite as much heat as the ham did. Wanted to make sure my meat was cooked. But alas, they look pretty darn good. You see plenty of steam coming off them. Well, folks, the Autoblog team wanted to try out cooking in the engine bay for ourselves. We got some ham and some potatoes. Got the job done the first time, about 40 minutes on the road, maybe 35 miles. I think everything turned out pretty good. Potatoes could use a little bit more something, but in the end, I think we turned out pretty good. So, for Ask Autoblog, I'm Chris Young.